Hello, everybody. Welcome to Room Brothers, and I'm sure you are safe and sound wherever you are. And if you are somebody who is new here or stumbled upon this channel by the algorithm, then you have come to the right place. Here at Room Brothers, we're gonna keep that old legacy and culture alive, and along the way, maybe inspire this generation to get into the world of automobiles. Take it cars or motorcycles, as long as it's a machine. The idea here is to build a strong automotive community united for their love of machines, irregardless of the brand, and then help you to work on your own machine sitting right at the comfort of your own home, maybe in your garage or in your parking lot. So, clicking that subscribe, follow, like, share, and comment buttons is much appreciated, as you rarely find such rich content in today's social media platforms. So this is the next episode of the exciting motorcycling customization and modification series that we are working on, called the Suzuki Gixxer SF project. Taking an entry-level motorcycle and modifying it so that it matches my needs, and at the same time making it perform better so that it can compete with machines that are above its segment. So this project forms the foundation for you whenever you work on your own machine, irregardless of what brand you drive or what cc motorcycle you drive. Right from a 100cc Splendor to a middleweight segment 500cc motorcycle, or all the way up to a 1200cc adventure tourer category. You can apply this knowledge and experience to any category in the motorcycle segment, or even for your cars when you do your regular maintenance. If you have managed to watch this series completely, this would help you a great deal to work on your own machine, as there will be dedicated episodes to cover specific topics. Let's say, for example, suspension, you will have couple of episodes. Engine work, couple of episodes. Steering and handling, couple of episodes, so on and so forth. And that's why I say Room Brothers is one stop and shop place into the world of automobiles, and you can't afford to miss it. Previously, in this project, we have already made dedicated episodes to cover the topics like how to dismantle your motorcycle and how to maintain your fuel tank, to which I will leave the links up here and even at the end of the video if you haven't watched it yet. And that is the reason I'm making these episodes short, sweet, and precise to the point. So this episode is going to be the second step in the process of restoration, especially when it comes to fuel tank. So we're gonna remove its paint, check and inspect for damages and the surface rust that might be hiding underneath it. So without further ado, grab your popcorn, sit back and enjoy the ride. Before we start the process, let's have a look at the fuel tank condition right now. As you can see, there is surface rust at the corners of the fuel tank and at the welding joints, and most of the paint is flaking off in areas that are mostly prone to wear and tear and directly exposed to outer atmospheric elements. The condition of the fuel tank is not that bad considering its age of 7 years and it going through a lot of dirt, mud and grime through its age. Let's begin to dismantle the inner parts of the fuel tank carefully. Removing and inspecting the fuel gauge. Now before we begin to remove the paint, it's always a good practice to mask all the important parts. Covering and masking all the important parts before we begin to repaint ensures that the paint stripping chemical doesn't enter into the fuel tank or, for that matter, any part while you do the repainting. Let's begin to strip the paint. Choose an open place and wear eye protection, gloves, and a face mask whenever you're dealing with removing the paint, as there would be harmful chemicals and fumes that would be released out of it, and you got to stay protected. This one is specially for the ASMR fans out there. This is where we begin to clean the water drain hole of the fuel tank. Take a thin piece of wire which is not sharp enough and insert it into the hole and move it back and forth until the wire comes out of the other end. Be careful and use it gently. Don't mind for the background noises as there is lot of construction work that is going around in my locality. You can see the amount of rust and dirt that is stuck in the fuel drain pipe. This doesn't happen overnight. The water gets collected onto the top of the fuel tank as I'm showing right now and slowly blocks the drain hole, and then eventually The water gets seeped into the fuel tank, damaging it and rusting it from the inside, as I'll show it right here. That's why I tell simple service maintenance like this will save you a lot of money and headaches. Now let's remove the paint from the top section of the fuel tank. So as you can see, we have removed the paint exposing the bare metal, and the culprit for the paint to peel off in the first place is the surface rust that you see here, which is spread all around the welds throughout the whole fuel tank. So if you don't remove this surface rust before you repaint, the paint is not gonna last even for 6 months. So make sure before you paint, you clean the parts thoroughly and remove the surface rust from all over the part. In this case, the fuel tank. Just for the sake of the case study, let me show you how a cleaned part should be before you repaint. If you can see, the bottom part here is cleaned thoroughly and all the surface rust has been removed compared to the upper part where you have the surface rust. Even at the back side, you can see this part which has been cleaned nicely, exposing the bare metal. This is how the part should be before you repaint. It can be any part of the motorcycle. For this case, we are painting the fuel tank. This is the reason I say before you repaint, there is proper prepping that is needed. So the amount of prep you do before you repaint determines how long the paint will last. That's why you need some patience and some elbow grease when it comes to works like this. So as you guys have seen, no major damages and no concerns to worry. So we're gonna clean the fuel tank thoroughly, remove all of its surface rust and prep it to paint. And that's going to be the next episode. So as always, ride hard, drive safe, eat healthy, live right and do good. The mantra of Room Brothers. I'll see you soon. Peace.